All right, so welcome to video number 3. We're going to talk about how to increase your conversions. Now, I'm going to run through this fairly quick, but the last slide is going to show you a mind map of different stages, and hopefully this will definitely open your eyes to the different variations of different types of campaigns that you can actually run. Now, first things first, I want to talk about the reasons for drop in conversions, and then I'll talk about how to increase your conversions later on. The reason why ads or retargeting campaigns can drop in conversions is because people create too general of a campaign and think, okay, so I'm thinking, okay, everybody who lands on every single one of my pages are presented with a certain ad. Now, that's fine if they're still in that brand awareness stage, which I'll talk in just a minute. But if they've moved along, then you probably don't want to do that. So there's a time to do it, and there generally is a time not to do it. I generally just try to not do it too general, that is, unless you have only one sales page. But even one sales page can be segmented into different segments and different campaigns. There's always different variations depending on the different stage, which I'll show you in just a minute. Or only having one ad. And like I talked about, there are different stages and different phases a person could be in, like brand awareness, research, buying phase, and so forth. So let's talk about how to increase your conversions. It's quite the opposite of what I talked about just a minute ago. Basically, you want to cut your site into segments, into different segments that include different products or different pages. Focus on creating several ads or several different ads for different stages. Now, here are the different buying stages. Generally, somebody comes through, and if you think about this in light of your own product, if you think about your product, somebody comes through and they become aware of your brand. So they're not to the buying stage just yet, but they are on the brand awareness stage. Sometimes you don't necessarily know, but some of the pages on your blog, some of the pages on your website may fit one of these stages. So if that's the case, you could retarget them with specific ads. But more on that in just later on. But with brand awareness, it's just, oh, okay, I found your brand. I don't really know what it's about. I'm just getting to know you. And then they become interested in your products after they stayed on your blog, engage with your videos, and you've gained their trust. At that point, they're interested in your products and they're interested in, okay, what do you provide? What kind of products, what kind of services do you provide? But then at that point, they start doing their research and questions and stuff like that. They start asking questions about your products, about your services, or even about the problems that they're facing, not necessarily about your brand. And then from that point, of course, they've made the decision that they want to buy a product, whether it's your product or whether it's your competitor's product. So they're in that kind of that competitive research stage. They're looking at which product has better quality, what features you provide, what features your competitors provide, how expensive are you compared to your competitors, and so forth and so forth. And of course, they buy and they become back-end customers. So depending on the stage that they are in, you can provide different ads. Now, if you hold on just a minute and move on through the video course, in the ad creatives video, I will show you exactly what kind of ad and what you should include in your ad depending on the stage. So I'm going to make it really, really easy for you. All right, so let's move on to the next video.